Eric Stratton, Rush Chairman. Damn glad to meet you. Hey, Eric Stratton, Rush Chairman. Damn glad to meet you. Hey, Eric Stratton, Rush Chairman. Damn glad to meet you. Hi, Eric Stratton, Rush Chairman. Damn glad to meet you.
Hi, that was Eric Stratton, Rush Chairman. He was damn glad to meet you.
Damn glad to meet you.
One of my favorite movies of all time. His name is Tim Matheson, and he is damn glad to meet you. The iconic actor whose credits include not just Animal House, but also The West Wing, and Johnny Quest is out with a new memoir. He takes the reader behind the scenes in Damn Glad to Meet You, My 7 Decades in the Hollywood Trenches. Tim Matheson joins us live now from New York. It is so cool to be able to speak with you because Animal House is one of my favorite movies of all time. But your career, I mean, 7 decades. Many people may not realize that you were just a child when you got the role of Johnny Quest in the 1960s. What was it like to start working at such a young age in this business?
Hi, Chris. Yeah, thank you. You know, it was wonderful. I mean, I started when I was 12, and I was lucky to, you know, it was sort of an apprenticeship. I had one line here and a couple of lines there, and I was working my way up and trying to figure out this business and how I fit in, but always from the very beginning, it felt like home to me, like a safe place on the set, that I was part of a family, part of a team. And I was coming from a broken home and a sort of a troubled childhood. I always felt comfortable on the set, and it was a wonderful place to grow up.
I know you talk, I mean, even in the title of it, using the word trenches, and many people, they think of Hollywood, they think of the glitz, they think of the glamour. You talk in your book about some of the challenges you faced. I know you're just speaking about some of the personal challenges in your life. In your career, what would you say those hard times were that you had to fight through?
Well, you know, it's like in any occupation. And I see it in my kids' life today, and you know, in the tech startup world and things. My career would transition or evolve every 5 to 7 years, and I would have to reinvent myself. I mean, I was a kid actor, and then I outgrew that when I was like 15 or 16. Then I fell into a world of cartoon voice work like Johnny Quest, and Hanna-Barbera, where I did Space Ghost. I was a Jace on Space Ghost and Young Samson and Sinbad Jr. And then I was under contract to Universal to say when I was 19, and I was in The Virginian and the Bonanza. It was my Western phase. And it ended up being in 1976 in a series with Kurt Russell called The Quest. It was another Western. And so it's like you have to evolve. You just have to. Those were the tough times. You're just like, is this portion of my career coming to an end, or is it over? Or you never know if every job you do is the last job you're going to do. So it's, I think, very much akin to the workplace marketplace today, is that there's no longevity with companies, and you just have to carve your own path, you know, make sure you're doing what you want to do and you love doing, and then hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, so much of it is hope, but for you to go from, I even think from Animal House to my wife and I, we love Virgin River as well, to stretch it.
Thank you.
What are the conversations like that you have maybe with yourself when you know it's time to transition from that one phase to the next?
Well, it kind of overlaps. I don't know if that it's really that clear. That I did know, you know, when I finished doing all these Westerns, before I did Animal House, which was my first comedy, I just was, I was playing the sort of same characters on TV all the time in Westerns, or even in the sort of contemporary shows like Owen Marshall or, you know, Marcus Welby and things like that. And I decided I wanted to study improv and reach out and venture into comedy. So I did. That was just me. And then I saw the script Animal House, and I just made the full frontal rush to get into that movie, and fought against all odds and got an audition and finally got the part. And, you know, it's a movie the studio didn't want to make. They hated it. They thought it was crazy. But it was a movie a comedy made by young people for young people. And it was the first one, because at that time, you know, Rock Hudson and Doris Day were the comedy stars of the decade. So it was a new time and a new way of making films. It was sort of the beginning of a new way of cinema, comedy in cinema.
One of my favorite parts is just the statue saying knowledge is good. So I think about it anytime I'm ever on a college campus. It's just the best. I'm told we have about 30 seconds left. I wish we could have much longer. But what project would you say in your career, maybe not your favorite, but had the biggest impact?
Animal House, certainly, but The West Wing. I was playing sort of a bad guy on it, and the VP Hoynes, who wasn't in the inner circle of the West Wing group, but was a practical, pragmatic politician, and so it was one of those shows you're in, and all of a sudden, overnight, you're recognized on the street, and everybody's watching it and talking about it. And it's, there's few and far between like that. And Virgin River is sort of something like that now today. It's streaming on Netflix. It has a similar following, and it's people see me and Doc Mullins, oh my God, that's the character I play on Virgin River. So I've been fortunate enough to land in a couple of spots where that's happened, and it's remarkable.
Well, actor Tim Matheson, thank you so much for joining us. It's great to speak with you. Congratulations on the book, on the memoir. And make sure you check out Damn Glad to Meet You, My 7 Decades in the Hollywood Trenches. Coming up on Morning Rush, another week of college football playoff rankings.